Hey everybody, glad you could join us today. So I am Jerry Broyles and I'm a district digital learning coach if you haven't seen me around. I have on the line with me Ashley Faulkner, and she is going to moderate our session today. So if you have questions, feel free to post them in the chat. We will try to get through as much content as we can within an hour, and hopefully we'll understand a little bit more about Pear Deck after we're done. Then at the end, we will definitely go back and answer questions that maybe I need to answer, and then Ashley just wasn't sure what I would say. So who knows? Ashley will do great. She is a Pear Deck expert, and we'll go ahead and get started. So here's my thought, and I know that many of you have probably already taken a Pear Deck training. And if you haven't, that's okay. If you have, that's great. We're going to go through, and I'm going to try to put a math spin on this so that it will give you a little bit of comfort of, what you can do inside your math classroom with this, whether it's online or in person, wherever it may be. I know we're in that hybrid situation. I've been out at Veterans Park last couple of days. It's going pretty well so far. So hopefully we will keep on moving in that direction to get all of our kiddos back. So I'm going to start today. I'm just going to present in this view. So Pear Deck is a great way, especially, and I'm a former math teacher, a lot of you all know that. It's a great way to go ahead and get a little bit of understanding of what the kids know as you're going across the content. Math is different than other subjects. We go through some sort of skills every day, and we want to know if our kids are understanding how to apply those skills. It's also a great way to kind of gauge social and emotional learning with our kiddos and kind of see if, how they're feeling, if they're stressed out from the content. I know that, often when I was teaching algebra, I could see on my kids' faces that they were stressed out. And we talked about it. We said, what do we need to do to make this better, make it easier? And we don't always get that feel when we're on Zoom, especially if kids have cameras off and so forth. So I'm going to continue on here. I am taking this presentation that you already know something about Pear Deck. Okay. Now, if you don't, you're not going to get lost today. Okay. You just won't understand the back end of it so much as you would have if you have already seen one of our Pear Deck presentations. This link right here takes you to Pear Deck help videos. I'll share that with you real quick. This is just some extra help for you guys. This is where our OIT group of digital learning coaches, this is the videos that we watch to help learn how to do Pear Deck, okay? And they're short videos chunked into different topics. Now, also at our fantastic NTI website, we have, if you go there, there's a ton of videos here. It'd be surprising if we didn't have something on it, right? Go to teacher resources and other online tools. And you will see that Pear Deck is at the top of the heap. And look at that. I have one coming right here soon. That's right. What we're doing right now is being recorded. So I will post this video later on this week, and I'll put it right here. Okay. So you have the Pear Deck basics. If you're using Canvas, this will show you how to make an assignment using Pear Deck and so on. Okay, so that's there for you too. All right, so I just showed our website. This is the Pear Deck basics right here. You will have access to this slide deck at the end of today. So we'll be all good. I will show you that link at the end. I didn't want to put it out right now because I think it'll be a little confusing. Okay, so anyway, that is Rachel Barkus when she was doing Pear Deck basics. All right, I just want to get a feeler out there, and so we're going to go to menti.com. So today you're going to be, if you have like 2 screens, that is awesome. If you have 3 screens, kudos to you. But if you don't, you're just going to go back and forth between tabs, okay? So what I would like you to do is open up a new tab, and you will still hear my voice, even though you don't see me. You are fortunate enough to hear my voice. Excuse me. So in that tab, type in Menti, menti.com, menti.com. And we're just going to get a little background here for me, and also a question that I have that I'm just dying to ask, really. So I have a couple questions here that we're going to present, and I'm going to give you this code in just a moment. So here's the code. So, yep. The code is, and I'll type it in here. So it's 8455203. And then hit submit. So 8455203, and then hit submit. And I'm going to share my other screen with you so you can see what I'm looking at. Now, you may have to go back to the Zoom screen to see what's going on. The question is, have you previously attended a Pear Deck training? And you have 3 answers here. Yes, I am ready to Pear Deck with my classes. In the middle is yes, but I can use a bit more training. And number 3, nope, never seen this in my life. So just take a little opportunity to do that. If you're not sure where to go, the directions are right up here again. It's menti.com, and then the code is right here for you too. So if you have not, oh, Ashley, you're so good. You're putting it in the chat. I love that. I never think to do that. I don't know why I don't think to do that, but I should. But Ashley's taking care of it for me. Yes, Ashley, you do try. You do a good job. All right, I love menti.com because it's a nice way to do an engagement. It's easy feedback. It's easy to get to. It's easy to see the questions. And look right down here, there's 33 answers so far that people have answered. I have about 39 people in this session. So we're pretty much done, I guess. Some people may be on a phone and maybe they just can't get there. So, hey, it looks pretty good. Some people could use more training, and this is where we are. That's fantastic. Hopefully, I will give you a lot of ideas to use inside your math classroom. All right, perfect. So let me hop out of here and go to my next question. And I think that would just pop up for you again because you're using the same code. So now you have a different question, and you have a slider scale. So you can slide that scale around. It says, how do students receive feedback when they have questions about assigned problem sets? So this is a personal question for me. How do you let students know what the right answers are to homework that you give them or classwork that you give them? I hope that you're not taking all that home and grading it, okay? Because we know that that is not, well, number one, it's not healthy for the teacher. And number 2, it's not entirely effective. So as you're putting those sliders in, you can see that the sliders on my screen are changing. And this is kind of what Pear Deck is about. We want to make sure the kids have proper feedback to problems that they are doing, that they're working on, and they want feedback to know that they're doing it right before they do 10 more problems down the road, because that's not productive either. We don't want them to learn something the wrong way and then go home and struggle and cry and be upset, and then you get the parent email the next morning. We just don't want that. Pear Deck will hopefully prevent some of that from happening. Okay. All right, so we're kind of settling into this. We have about 24 people that have participated in this. Oh, we're getting a few more. We get 29. So so the biggest one, or the one that got the most votes, is I allow time for students to discuss homework in groups. Great idea, collaborative approach. Easy to do with breakout rooms with Zoom, even though we're not in school right now for most of our grade levels. I allow students to upvote problems to be solved as examples. Yeah, I mean, why would you solve problems that everybody got right? You want to give them the liberty to choose problems that they want to see that will help them better understand. All right, good. I shared just the answers. Very few people said that. Then several people said, or the majority said, I share the answers and solutions to problem sets. Okay, so we have a variety of giving feedback there. I think that's great. And I think that's a really good feel for what you're doing in the classroom as well. Okay, perfect. All right, so I'm going to hop out of there. And I'm going to leave that for a little discussion later that I'll have with myself. And so let's hop into here and get into what we're doing today. So today I'm going to show you just an example lesson. And believe me, this is not an extraordinary benchmark lesson. This is just an idea of how this could go in your classroom if you're using it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to have a little homework check. We're going to do today's lesson where they'll watch a video. They'll have a little bit of practice. Then they'll have a practice check that they'll do. Then we'll do a little SEL temperature check to see how the students are doing, which is going to be you guys. And then we'll do individual practice where I will let you do the self-paced mode as opposed to the teacher-paced mode. And then we'll do an exit slip. All right. So on the homework check, this is where we'll begin. Now, as a teacher, I'm going to go over here to start my lesson. And I'm going to clean up my screen just a little bit to help me out. So this is how you start a lesson. You can start it right inside your slide deck that you're using for the day. I'm going to do instructor-paced activity here. And what you'll do is you will open a new tab or create two screens again, whatever you want to do. And I'm going to move some stuff around here. And so on that new tab that you're going to type in joinpd.com. Type in joinpd.com. And then you're going to type in this code right here, CVE GJE. And that's a lot easier to say than confused violas easily give juicy elephants. So it's a CVE GJE. So I'm going to keep that on the screen for a little bit. And right here, I can see a number of students that are connected. We're at 11 right now, so I'm going to keep that up for a while. So again, what you'll do is joinpd.com on a separate tab or a different screen. And thank you, Ashley, you got it in the chat for us. And then type in that code that you see on the screen here. All right, 27 students, going to wait a little bit longer. I want to encourage everybody to get in here if they can. You will probably be toggling between two tabs here if you need to. Now, the only reason that you're really toggling here is probably because I'm going to be showing things that you would see on the teacher end. Your students wouldn't have to toggle like this. Okay, so I do want to make that clear. So our elementary kids can definitely do this. Please don't think that they can't, because they can. So again, the toggling is just for you guys because you're teachers. The students wouldn't have to toggle like this. And let me tell you, those K1s and 2s that I've seen, those kids are amazing on Chromebooks now. All right, let's do about 15 more seconds. Is JoinPD just the name of the class? No, joinpd.com is just a website. So joinpd.com, you'll go to a website. You'll say enter a code, and that's where you're going to enter the code at. All right, so I'm going to close that code, especially since Ashley has that in the chat. And so right now, you're seeing my screen right here where I'm presenting. So hopefully you're seeing that. And so the first thing that we're going to do is we're just going to do just a little SEO check. And one of your tabs, okay, you may have to figure out which one it is. One tab is going to be where you're active, and you can actually drag an icon around. And it's a little blue dot. Okay, and you're going to take that dot and just move it to wherever you think the homework assignment was for you last night. Unfortunately, it looks like we have a few people who didn't have a good time with the homework assignment last night. So I feel really bad about that. Now I can show responses here. So far this is what we have. Now this is an overlay. You remember an overlay just kind of puts them all on top of the other. Y'all are kind of centering them. That's really cool because math teachers love to be in the middle. I love that. So that's great. So we have a little bit of feedback there. Now, I know that some kids, they're going to give you a thumbs down every time, but that's not the majority of the kids that we teach, and especially after you've built relationships with them. So that's a pretty good feel. I am a little concerned about the ones that are giving me a thumbs down, but that's okay. All right, we're going to move to the next one. Now, this is just an idea. There's lots of ways to work those problems out that the kids want to see. If you're giving all solutions, then yeah, that may be really helpful. But sometimes kids need to take it one step at a time to really see where they missed solving the problem. So on this side, you have a place to draw. Now, let me tell you this. If you look at your slide, over to the left-hand side, there's something that looks like an exclamation point, I think. And that's a little slider to where you can change the size of the width of your pen. Okay, so just go in there and change the width of your pen. Notice it says draw a red circle, so you should have a color palette at the bottom that you can choose from. And we have got several people who've already done this. Fantastic. Everybody has chosen red so far. That's awesome too. So I want to show this, what it looks like. It is just a mess. Now, I would think that if you get a real problem set, some of those will be a little bit more popular than the others, but yet you can get a feel for what the kids want to see. Also, we're looking at, I don't know, 40, 37 people versus, I don't know what you'll have in your classroom. Maybe it's 28, 29, maybe it's 30. All right, I can also lock screens, and when I lock screens, you're not allowed to vote anymore or make any changes. So that gives me a better picture of, kind of what people put initially. So, and I can always unlock screens and also move on. All right. So let's go into today's lesson. All right. So the first thing is a video. Now, there's a certain way that you have to embed videos into the Pear Deck for it to work. In that case, you can actually allow the students to watch the video on their own. If this is if you set it for student paced instead of instructor paced, which is on right now, that would be a great time for them to watch it on their own. If you're just Zooming, you could probably just show it to the entire group at one time, keep them all on the same page. That is something that you need to plan out ahead before you start your lesson, okay? So at this point, you do have an opportunity to just go ahead and start the video on your own. Okay, so we have a video, real easy to show because they can start it right inside their Pear Deck. And now let's go over here. And this is a little bit different. Let's talk about this. This is a link to IXL, which I know a lot of you use. It's showing how to convert a linear equation from standard form to slope-intercept form. Some links to different websites are embedded, which means that when they click on them, it will actually stay inside the Pear Deck page. Most of the links that I've come across are not embeddable. Yep, that's a word, not embeddable. So it makes them pop out to a new tab. And that's okay, because they can still get the content. It's just not as pretty as we like it to be. Okay, so I'll give you about 15 seconds just to kind of pop in there, look at that, and check it out. All right, okay, I think we did pretty good on that. Okay, all right, so let's go to the next slide here. And what I want you to do, I want you to focus on your drawing tools first, okay? I'm going to imagine that I know what your screen looks like, because I think I do. There's a place where you can actually draw something, but there's also a line looking thing, okay? It looks like you could draw a line. You may want to try that too, all right? Now, also, you may want to change the width of your pen or the color of your pen. And by the way, if you don't know how to do this, that is totally fine with me. That is not a big deal. This is not for everybody today because we have different levels on here. I hopefully have Ks all the way up to 12th grade. Okay, so I am going to kind of show what I see though. I want to share some responses here. Now, this is just individual responses. This is a nice way for me to get a feel of who actually needs help. I love it how the names are not shown here. On my little dashboard that I have over here to the left of me, I can see everybody's names and I can see exactly who needs help and who doesn't. And you all are pretty good. That's pretty amazing. I think this all looks pretty correct for the most part. There's a question mark and that's okay. That would be somebody that maybe I need to check up with, later on, or I can, Zoom with or meet one-on-one or in a small group or something like that. All right, fantastic. Don't you just love the feedback though? I mean, how else do you get that inside a physical classroom that quickly? I don't know. I mean, you could use the little whiteboards where everybody shows it, but I think some of our kids are sometimes embarrassed to use those. You have those shy kids. So this is a great workaround for those kids that are a little bit shy. Now, I want to show this so it's an overlay view. And that gives you a better feel overall of how kids are doing. We have some outliers here, but for the most part, the group knows how to do this. Hey, look at you all, primary teacher. Okay, that's awesome. All right, let's go to the next one here. Now, this gives you a Desmos calculator, graphing calculator. Now, on it, you can check your work on what you just did. So if your kids are new to graphing, I just chose a graphing unit today, then they can actually type in y equals x plus 2 and see it graphed out and give themselves a little check. This would be great on student pace mode. They can try the example, then they can check it by going to Desmos and seeing if that is actually the line that they drew. All right. So the Pear Deck link, I'm going to put that in the chat real quick. See that. All right, so let's go to the next one here. I hope I gave you enough time on there because really you're just typing in that equation. Okay, let's do a little temperature check. Now, an honest temperature check here. How are you feeling? Let's see how this goes. Okay, as teachers, not as a student. So drag that dot to wherever you're feeling it. Now notice I haven't talked about how you build these at all, okay? That's a pretty easy conversation to have. And if you all are interested after the end of this at the end of this session, it's for me to come back and do a workshop with you all where y'all can create these and I can kind of be there to give you, suggestions or so forth. I am more than happy to do that. So we can talk about that at the end. All right, so let's show this. Okay, so I think this is honest here. Keep going to understand. I'm a little confused. I think that's okay because if you're still just kind of learning Pear Deck, you're going to be a little confused. And I myself, you ask any of my colleagues, they'll say that I need to see things a couple times before I understand it. So that's totally okay. I'm okay with this. This is good. Y'all are learning. Stop, I need help would mean that, we're not getting it, we're not having that learning construction going on. So we're good right now. So let's move on a little bit. Okay, now on this section, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do student pace mode. So that means you have free reign on your end to go through the next 4 slides, I think. Let me count this real quick. Yeah, after the 4th slide, you'll see the next slide is stop. And I'm holding up a stop sign as a Bitmoji. So please just stop there and then we'll return to instructor pace in just a moment. So I'm going to turn on student pace on my end. Okay, and now you can move forward and do the next 4 slides on your own.
We did have some good questions, Jerry. One question was, can you lock every slide during the live session? And the answer to that was, you only really get that lock button if it's a draggable or a drawing slide. So that was a really good question.
I am glad you answered that because I would have had to think about that a very long time. So that is a good question.
What I'm here for, buddy.
All right, I appreciate that. All right, about 1 more minute. I don't want to drag this out too long so we can keep on going. Be sure to stop at the stop sign, please. I'm going to show some of this while y'all are doing that. Oh, no, I guess I can't. I have to go back to instructor paste before I can do that. That's right, I'll show it in just a minute. I can see everybody's drawings here, which is really nice. I can just click on the slide and see what everybody has drawn so far. So that's a really nice feature as well, because while you all are working, I'm going back in here and I'm saying, okay, which students do I need to add to my small group next time? Okay.
Jerry, you could always show your teacher dashboard if you wanted to show
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
Student responses.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, this is my dashboard that I see. In a minute, I'm going to stop the student paste and we'll go back to instructor paste. But I can toggle in between these two and see the answers that you all have come up with. Now that end, it does show the names, so I wouldn't show that in front of a classroom probably, but we're all here as learners, so that's where we are. Let's go about 20 more seconds, and then we'll go back to instructor pace and kind of finish up here with this part of the session. You're not home free yet, so. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop the student paste. And so now that takes you back to the first graph that I had, and I can show responses, and I can do an overlay again. And that's a pretty interesting overlay. I think most of the class is kind of along that general trend of the line. All right, and we'll go to the next one and see it as well. Let me show responses for it. This one seems to have a few more people that may have not gotten the right trend on that line, and that's okay. So I can go right over here to the grid layout, and I can check to see who those students are. Remember, it's not showing the names here on projector view, but I can see it on my teacher dashboard and make my list of people, of students I need to work with. Okay. All right, so there's the end of the student paste. Now let's go to an exit slip. Remember, this was just kind of a lesson idea that I had. So now you have this. It says, change the following equation from standard form into slope-intercept form. Show your work below and put the answer in the yellow box. Now, you can draw on here. I think you can also use the T to actually use text. So if you want to click on the text, you can add a text box, and you can type inside that. You don't have to do the entire thing. We're just giving you a feel of what this looks like.
Hey, Jerry, can you set a timer real quick so that we can see that feature?
Yes, I think I can. Uh-oh, Ashley, where is that?
Yep, so if you hover over lock screens.
Oh, that's right. Yep, perfect. Yeah, I can set like I'll do a 30-second timer. Okay, so you see a timer at the bottom of your screen now. Thanks, Ashley.
Thank you. That was a question we were just answering.
Yep.
Perfect timing.
Oh, good one. If I only had my drum set. Yeah, that's right. It has a 30-second timer, a 1-minute timer, and a 3-minute timer built in. All right, so right now the screens are locked, and I can go ahead and see what everybody has responded. Okay. Now, what I want to do here, oh, you have another part of the exit slip, sorry. So graph the equation from the previous slide. I probably didn't give you time to do that. Does anybody have the answer for that one? What it was? Y equals what? Looks like maybe negative 2x plus 3. Y equals negative 2x plus 3. So you're going to graph y equals negative 2x plus 3. Or if you like to graph in standard form, go right to it. I myself, I do not. So, all right, y'all are doing great. Okay, so you get the hang of this. So this was graphing heavy today because the lesson was about graphing. What I'm going to do now is just show you some other ideas of what you can do. And we're going to skip along here. I'm sorry if I'm going too fast. This is, things that you can write in here. This is one of those SEL questions to kind of see where you're feeling, what you're doing. It says, what is filling your bucket today and what is draining it? Again, you can use the text feature to fill in the blanks here. We'll give you a couple of seconds to fill that out. Hey, that's nice. What is filling your bucket today? Somebody said PD. And then they said draining it is grocery shopping. I totally get that. I am just over grocery shopping. Matter of fact, we have been getting those meals that they send to your house, like 3 meals at a time, and then you cook them up. That's pretty cool. That's fun. My daughter loves that. She thinks that's great. Lots of great ideas. Fantastic. Yeah, the nice weather is definitely filling my bucket. Man, the melting is on. All right. Late work, yeah. PD's at 4:48 in the afternoon. I get it. Okay, so let's look at some of the examples here. We'll just kind of cut this off and move on here. So it says drag the operators to make the question. I kind of arranged these from simple ideas to something a little bit more complex as we go. I just want to share some different ones that you may have ideas that you could use. If we do a workshop, we can definitely come up with a whole bunch of different ideas. I mean, if you can put it in a slide deck, then you can make it engaging with Pear Deck. All right, you guys are amazing. I'm going to show responses there. Yep, look at that. All right, let's go to the next one here. I have quite a few examples, so I want to go through them if you don't mind. So graph the things you found in the schoolyard. This would be a little graphing activity. So you could add, just little, you could fill in the squares there if you want to, kind of like a bar graph, or you could just put in dots or whatever. Ashley Faulkner, she's showing up. All right. Or you could just scribble. Oh, I like that one. Yeah, scribble. All right, perfect. All right, this is a little bit more thought-provoking. Here we go. Which one of these doesn't belong? You're going to drag the icon to the one that doesn't belong. So we got some quarters, pennies, dimes, and a nickel. Y'all are awesome because you're centering the dots again. I love that. I kind of show that. It cracks me up. It's also interesting that most people, nobody chose the quarters and most people chose the nickel. Really interesting. Because we know there's not a perfect answer here, right? It's just a different way of thinking. So on the next slide that I have, which of these doesn't belong? Explain your answer from the previous slide. So now you get to explain that answer and type it out. Okay, so I'll give you about 15 seconds to go through that, maybe 20. Let's go 20 seconds. So I'll just kind of read some of the answers we have here. The nickel is the only one that has 1 coin and the others have 4 coins, okay. The pennies are the only ones that are copper. Uh-oh, I'm so sorry. I think I let's get forward a little bit there. My bad. Dimes are the only coins that are tails up. All right. This could be an easy opener for you guys to talk about this and kind of get that logical reasoning so they can, talk about differences that they see in problems or even everyday things like this. All right. Okay, very good. Let's go to the next question then. Here's a word problem. So this is a multiple choice problem. Yep, you can have those two. I'm just showing you different examples. Juanita had extra Pokemon cards that she decided to give away equally to her 6 friends. If she gave away 48 cards, how many cards did each friend get? Assuming she liked all of her friends equally, I'm guessing. All right, so showing responses here. Yeah, it looks like C is the option. Easy feedback, people, easy feedback. All right, here's another question. If I'm going too fast, I apologize. I want to make sure we have time for everything today. So draw a red X at -2.5 and a blue plus sign at 5.5. Now, another view that I have is I can see each of these enlarged, so it's easy to read. And I can go through these and just kind of scroll through them. Okay. It's also nice that I have a preview before I show anything to the rest of the class. Okay, just in case somebody's being a little naughty. Now, it's easy to tell who that person is because everything is tagged with their name over here on the dashboard. So let's look at this. Let's do an overlay here. And we'll see what we have. Oh, okay, we got some discrepancies over here. So it looks like we probably need to talk about where 5.5 would lie. But amazingly enough, most people got -2.5. So, all right, maybe I'll just kind of see what it feels like to be an outlier. I don't know. All right, next one. We're using the alligators here. So if you're elementary and you love to use the alligator, feel free to change any of this verbiage. So compare each set of numbers and draw one of the symbols inside the circle, the less than, the greater than, the equal to, and you're drawing that inside the circle. This reminds me of one of the bad watercolors that I used to do as a kid. And yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah, so this looks pretty good. We have one person that went the different direction there. Oh, and they erased it. They decided to go the same way as everybody else. I don't blame you. Okay. All right, so I think we're good there. So just another problem. Let's look at the next problem we have. Now this one I think is a little bit different. It's definitely special. And you'll love the results of what I'm looking at after we're done with this one. So how many centimeters tall is the tallest person in your family? If you need to figure out inches, multiply by 2.54. Feel free to do that. And we have a true outlier here. Oh, Ashley Faulkner. I am not going to include that one. Let's see. All right, so let me share what we have here. So you get a box and whisker plot looking thing, kind of. It has the median or the mean right here. You have some outliers going on. Now, if you have some students that put in answers that are really large, like, oh, I don't know, like 30,000, then you can hide their responses so it doesn't affect the rest of the group, because that's definitely going to sway what your graph looks like. Okay. So to me, it looks like I probably need to do a little bit more work to make sure that there's answers that are more in the range of 183. All right. Okay, next one, circle the polygons, which are rhombuses. Assume equivalent lengths as seen. I didn't want to put any numbers here or variables, so if it looks like it's equal in length, then it is. All right, let's see what we have here. Show responses. So we have most of the group got this right, it looks like. So we got the rhombus here. Remember, rhombus is just a diamond. So this is a diamond, and so this. And so is the square. So the square actually works as well. Nobody chose the trapezoid, so that's a good thing. We're doing pretty good there. All right, next question. This is where students can actually come up with their own questions. How much do they know about a triangular prism? What kind of questions could they ask? So maybe now they're generating questions to give to other students to try out. Yep, what is the volume? How many faces are there? Great questions. What shape is shown? Perfect. Is it solid or hollow? Huh, good question. How can you calculate the height? What is the surface area and then the number of vertices? Y'all are fantastic. Okay. All right, this one I kind of came up with last night, and I thought it would be pretty good. One thing that you can do is you can add, I think, up to 5 different draggable items. I think it's 5, maybe 6. Actually, you can correct me on that if you want to. So I made 4 different draggable dots on this one, and I gave them different colors. So for point A, it's going to be blue, and you're going to mark the ordered pair 5, 4. Then for B, it's going to be purple. C is green, and then D is -4, -1. Now, I want you all to try to go through this if you can, just so we get some good results to see what this looks like. It's kind of fascinating to look at here. I'm going to show this with you. It's like all these. Oh. Hold on a second. Here we go. It's coming up. I think my internet's lagging a little bit here. Yeah, you can definitely tell it's lagging because you can only see the dots and not the question right now. So, and that may be because there's so much activity during the session. So, and there's a lot of dots to move. Oh, there, it finally came up. Okay. I think y'all are moving your dots to the most popular dot answer. So that's pretty funny. All right, very good. So it's great feedback once again. And I should have locked the screen and then you couldn't move your dots, but that's totally okay because we're having fun with this. Perfect. All right, this one I want to try out. I think it may be a little bit difficult to do, but I'm not sure. So it's a difficult problem, but maybe it's difficult to draw. I suggest this, that if you're going to draw the angle mark, you know, like right here we have, you know, this one marked with just one line. You know what the other one over here will look like. It'll look like one line too. But you may want to type out instead of drawing whatever the measure is. So draw your lines in for the angle to show the angle measure, and then type in the measure using the text feature. Hopefully that makes sense. So again, as you're doing this, you need to teach your kids these things as well, so that it's easier for them to work inside this this Pear Deck session. Okay, we'll talk about what they have to do, you know, to make it easier for them, because it's hard. It's hard to draw on a Chromebook. You know, using that touchpad to actually draw 180 minus X or whatever you're drawing, you know, it's kind of tough. Did I say too much? All right, let's see what we got here. Yeah, okay, so a lot of you did that. Some of you are drawing that out. Some of you typed it 180 minus X, perfect. It's kind of hard to see those double lines here, you know, that you would have. But yeah, good feedback. The overlay is definitely not the best to look at this. I would probably go to a grid and see what people have done here. Okay, so I can go to singulars as well. Let's see. Yeah, okay, there we go. There's the answer right there. All right, looks like I probably need to do a little bit of reteaching, but some of you are fantastic with this. So you've been studying really hard. All right, next one, here we go. Box and whisker plot. So place a colored dot next to represent the following pieces of data on the box. The central tendencies, that's the word I was trying to think of last night. So plot using matching colors. So you're going to use these colored dots that you have. The red one will be the minimum. The green will be the maximum. Lower quartile will be purple. Upper quartile is a light blue. And then the median is a yellow, a goldenrod yellow. Now, I thought about accessibility last night for this because, you know, some of our kids, you know, could have color blindness issues. I'm not sure where I would go with that unless maybe I wrote the word red next to this as well, and they could kind of see that hue. I don't know, in the colors. I think, you know, some of my friends are colorblind and they can see a variation in color. So that may be workable. I don't know.
Jerry, couldn't you use different draggable icons like the shipment minimum, and then that way they would just find the ship?
Absolutely. Yeah, there are different draggables that you can use, and that would be something that I could do too. That's perfect. Yeah, great idea. Matter of fact, after we get off today, that's what I'm doing. I'm changing it, actually. Great idea. I love that. All right, let's look to see what you all have. This may take a while to come up. Okay. Looks pretty good. We do have some variation here. Different things. Yeah, actually, I like that idea. I'll try that out. All right, we are almost finished, so hang on. We just got a couple more. All right, this one I did use different shapes on this one. So place a star on the graphs which are functions. Place a flag on the graphs which are not functions. If you all have cobwebs in your brain like I do, remember vertical line test. Yep, vertical line test. That helped me figure this one out. So. All right, remember my goal was to show you a huge variety. I think we've seen that today, a big variety of how you can use this in your classroom, and no matter what content you're looking at, there's something that you can do to make your class more engaging using Pear Deck and the draggable features that we have here. Okay, so show responses. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, some of these were all over the place with, and that's okay. All right. All right, perfect. All right, got one more here. Yeah, we got one more. Okay, the locker problem. I don't know if y'all do this one or not, but I was amazed by it. Just read through that yourself, and at the end it says, what strategy would you use to approach this problem? So if you have an idea what the strategy would be, just type that in. I also like the feel of this because everybody gets a voice. Okay, everybody gets the opportunity to engage with this and give feedback. And it's up to the teacher to, you know, get a feel for what students need more help, which students they can highlight if they want. And just a nice feel for, you know, where you are and how much more you need to work with your students to make sure that they understand the instruction. Natalie Fee, so do you CMP prime time? Well, yeah, okay, I guess you would. Yeah, that's true. All right, Debbie Wagner, prime numbers. Okay, yeah. All right, chaos. Yeah, draw a model. Yep, that's kind of the answer I was looking for. Draw a diagram, make a diagram. Yep, I am a visual person. I'm looking for patterns here and so forth. Okay, y'all are still thinking because you're still typing in here. Let's see what else we got in here. Using a table? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, all these are great. And I love the various ways you can solve this problem with different ideas that you have. Draw a picture, second grade teacher. I love that. Absolutely. Me too. Me too. All right, this is our last one that we have on here. So just kind of thinking about this PD session, and gosh, that hour went pretty quick because we're at 5:06 right now. In 1 minute, write the most important thing from today's lesson that you learned. Yeah, the great tools available. I mean, there's, these are just, there's a few in here that I gathered from Pear Deck itself because they have examples inside Pear Deck, but others were just, things that I thought of. I searched the internet for a few things, just different examples out there. Yeah, there's so many options in the Pear Deck templates that I've not seen yet. You show me several, lots to learn. Love the ideas that draggable tools could be used with more than one draggable. Absolutely. Yep, DJ, good to see you, my friend. And yes, the ability of the teacher to obtain instant feedback from the students. Yeah, exactly right. It's a game changer. We love that. And I don't say that very often to some of the apps that we have. This is a game changer. Yeah, Gail, yeah, the options are nearly endless. I'm energized to learn more. I feel closer to normal than I have all year with new ideas to explore. Yes, it's a great opportunity right now because, we're starting to go back in, inside the physical classroom. You can still use these things. Remember, you still have the opportunity to use, make it teacher-led like I have through most of this, or you can assign it as a classroom assignment to do in class, at home, or after school, whenever it may be. So it can be student-paced as well. All right, fantastic. All right, well, I am going to stop sharing the Pear Deck. And what I'm going to do is I want to end this session, and I want to show you where you have a takeaway. And a takeaway is just it's a copy of every slide and what your answer choices were for that slide. So I'll show you that in just a moment. So let me end this session here. And let me call this Pear Deck for Math Teachers. We'll publish the student takeaways. All right. Okay, it's doing its thing here. Okay, hold on just a second. All right. There. Okay, so they're still coming up with the takeaways and so forth. You will find those for your session inside your Google Drive. Let me get there. It's jumping around on me. And you'll see takeaways right here. So you can go through those after the session is over, okay? Just click inside there and see what your answers were. So that's a nice feature that kids have. I'm gonna go to the bottom of this. And we will definitely answer some questions here, but I wanna get your feel for this before you go. Two things for sure, okay? I know this has been a lot. I definitely want to go back and forth with you if you have questions about this. I have an exit survey for you to complete. Please take that. That gives me some feedback as to what I need to do next time and what you feel that you got from the session. Hopefully you learned a lot. And we really didn't create a Pear Deck session for you all to take to your kids, but is there any interest in a Pear Deck math workshop that you would like to attend or time for us to do that? And through that, it would be like that beginner feel to where you start setting this up. And then I would be there to just kind of facilitate and answer questions as you create them. So Natalie, you're saying yes. I love that, Natalie. So yeah, a couple of you are saying yes in the chat. All right, perfect. Yeah, that's great. So I tell you what, I will get with Natalie tomorrow and trying to figure out a good time that we can get math people together again. I think that'd be the best way to do that because she knows your all schedule pretty well.